Hey everybody, it is Friday night, and I was born for this. I really dig on that tune, so put a little edit to the intro music for you, just to kind of get you jazzed up like me, get you fired up. All right, listen. I hope your Friday evening is going well. I hope it consists of a nice, relaxing evening. Maybe a drink in one hand, a Pop-Tart in the other. Whatever floats your boat. So, I actually had a pizza. Oh, it was so good. And actually, the dessert part was even better, but I'm going to have a little ice cream after that. So, I totally went off the wagon. But it was a planned cheat meal, so I'm good. So, I should feel like plenty of energy this weekend because I'm going to need it. It's going to be a long weekend. All right, so you're here because we got some storms to talk about, and that's what we're going to do. If you notice on the comment section as you're leaving it, there should be a pinned post, and that is how you can support me by becoming a Facebook fan subscriber. So it's part of Facebook fan subscriptions, so check it out. Once you get access to that, then I'll get you into our secret closed Facebook group page. We have a nice community, about 1,500 and growing strong. So I think you're going to like it. And we're going to continue to build that and add more stuff to it and bonus content and all that. So if that interests you, jump on board. I got some other options though. If you don't want to do that, you want to do Patreon. That's also available. All the links are in this broadcast as well. And then my weather app. Those of you folks have had a few problems. There's been a few glitches. Doesn't affect everybody, just small numbers of you. But the good news is I got everything worked out bug-wise. So I was testing the beta today. It looks good. I'm going to test it over the weekend. I wanted to release it tonight for the weekend, but I'm just like, if you don't test it thoroughly, something will come up, and now I got to do all this all over again. So it probably won't be ready this weekend, so early next week I'll release it. But so that'll fix any of those hiccups. Plus, toward the middle of next week, I'll take the full page ads off, so that'll be good as well. So we'll look for changes on AT's Weather to Go. All right, well, let's get on with it, shall we? Because I know why you're here. You're here for some action. So let's give you some action. All right, Storm Prediction Center. So these are the other government experts like myself, and their specific duty is to outline the risks of severe weather, and they've got one right here over Oklahoma. And this will change, they'll massage it as we head into the later outlooks for tonight and tomorrow as new data comes in and how things kind of change around and look in the atmosphere. But the bottom line is they've got us at an enhanced risk. Could we go a moderate risk? Possibly. Usually you have to have a certain number of hail and wind events expected for that to happen. And we're kind of on the borderline of some of that, plus some extreme events. In other words, some tennis ball size hail, wind gusts up around 70, 80, possibly 90 miles per hour. Yeah, so that's what's on the docket here. Now here's a look. If you were to take this situation, in other words, the atmosphere and how it looks for tomorrow, and you're to go back in time, compare it to all other days that we have an archive for, it's going to show you where the higher risk of severe storms is. It's kind of across this part of Oklahoma. So, of course, not across the southeast is the take-home here. Now, this is just for all severe. If we look at the wind threat itself, in the blue, higher wind out west, and this is just a proximity. Hail, highest out west, and tornado, highest out west. Now, I actually think we have to shift all this east. This is based off of last night's run, so it's going to be a little old. The new one will come in tonight and replace it, and it'll probably shift everything more to the east. But the take-home here is just it does show you bullseyes across Oklahoma for all of these categories. Now, this is the tornado threat for Sunday across Oklahoma, and then there's the hail and there's the wind. But again, this will shift as well. So the take-home isn't an exact spot. The take-home is how it's focused the severe magnitude across our region. So I just want to show you that in an analog historical type view. So now we've gotten that out of the way. Let's see how things ought to progress. So we had some storms in northwest Texas this evening. They're not going to make it probably into Oklahoma. They're going to say just south of the border. So this model is already in error of that. But we'll take a look at it for tomorrow. And it has the majority of storms developing by 4 and 5 o'clock out here northwest and western Oklahoma into the Panhandle region, and then those coming eastward in the form of a squall line as we head into the evening hours here over central Oklahoma, and then progressing into eastern Oklahoma overnight. Some new development popping up as well into early Sunday morning. That activity moves east, and then we've got a final round coming in for mid-afternoon to late afternoon on Sunday over central Oklahoma. It's like the I-35 corridor, and that develops and moves off to the east. We have several rounds of some very heavy rainfall moving through, which will cause some flash flooding. And unfortunately, each one of these rounds is going to have all three threats with it: large hail, damaging winds, and yes, potential for tornadoes. The tornado threat is actually higher on Sunday than it is for tomorrow. And it might be actually pretty substantial for this late in the year. Now, that's not saying much compared to the spring, but for a summer event, it'll be more substantial. We'd normally see, which usually one or two kind of a freak occurrences. We might actually have just a handful on Sunday. So we'll have to see how things play out Saturday and Saturday night, because that can really mess things up for the atmosphere. We don't destabilize enough. But right now the models are indicating that that shouldn't be a problem, and we should be able to do that. So that's kind of what I show you on this map. Let me go to another one here now, and I'm going to shift a little closer view of this. What I wanted to show you on the take home for this is the potential for the wind gusts as I go through time here. Any one of these particular storms that develop, and I'm just going to pick this particular one here, it's got winds in excess of 76 knots, 77 knots. That's approaching 90 miles per hour. So I want to show you the potential here with some of these stronger thunderstorms will be damaging winds tomorrow. And this is in addition to the large hail. So a pretty significant threat. So severe weather season is going to go out with a bang this weekend is what I'm trying to tell you. It'll get hot again, 90s. Might see some hundreds down in southwest Oklahoma. And how things will look as far as precipitation goes and the timing, let's talk about that. And then we'll also talk about rainfall amounts overall for the weekend. So this model is really excited. It's a little too excited, but I want to show you that here's what I can't do. I can't promise you anything dry after 3 o'clock. So in other words, do whatever you got to do through 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, because after that, every hour after that, the threat of rain goes up because storms will start to bubble up with max heating, and they might just kind of pop up here and there. They may not be only in one certain area. Just the cap will break and things will kind of go off. Any little boundaries, any little convergence lines can do it. Now, by far and large, most of them should be in western northwest Oklahoma, but many models like this are indicating they could really kind of pop up anywhere. So the take home here is just be prepared for late afternoon and evening. If you have any outdoor plans, you're probably going to have to at some point cancel them or bring them indoors. So this round of showers and storms continues through Saturday night, as we mentioned, and then here's some more into Sunday morning, moving on through into eastern Oklahoma and northern Oklahoma, and then we'll look for the redevelopment for Sunday afternoon. This is a short-term model, so it doesn't go out that far. It only goes up to Sunday morning. We can take an idea, though, at how much rain can potentially fall in this. Here in central Oklahoma, this is in Oklahoma County, by the way, it's got 5 inches of rainfall. This is just going to be over a roughly 12-hour period. We'll call it 12 to 15 hours. That's unheard of. But if you think that's bad, in southeast Oklahoma, it's got 9 inches, 10 inches of rainfall. So the point here is we will see overall widespread 1 to 2 inches across the state through the whole period for the weekend. However, there's going to be some areas that just get rain after rain after rain. It's going to pile up and cause flash flooding. So right now the models have been honing in to southeastern Oklahoma, even central Oklahoma for the whole weekend versus other parts of the state as far as the extreme flooding is concerned. Then we'll take a look at this model, which will go out through the weekend. We'll see what the rainfall totals for it look like. And it's going to be a little bit different than that one. And so we don't want to focus too much on the exact placement. We just want to focus on the potential. Now, it actually has shifted most of the 4 to 5 inch category, a big bullseye of it, down south across the Red River in North Texas. Now, I don't buy that, actually. I think this is back up here in northern, back in Oklahoma. But just want to show you that this particular model, which is the first time it's actually done this, it's still got copious amounts of rain with it. And that was the take home I wanted you to know with that one. The big brother of it, I haven't looked at its rainfall totals either. It should be similar to the other one there because they got similar physics. Doesn't always mean that, but we'll see. Yeah, see, it actually shifts it more north back in Oklahoma and not so crazy. But it's got a hot spot up here in northeast Oklahoma. So most of the models the last couple of days have been focused on southeast versus northeast. This is the first time I've seen it in northeast Oklahoma. You got to be prepared, though, anywhere over the state, really, for flash flooding, the way things have gone. All right, so that's how that looks like. On Saturday, this is the forecasted shear in the atmosphere. I want to show you that the forecast sounding does indicate a potential for a tornado. And that's what this little guy right here says, potential hazard type. And that is because this shear is actually very decent for this time of the year. And our lift and condensation level is down low. That's around almost 900 millibars. So that's very low cloud base, which makes it much easier to get a tornado. Cape values around 6,000, no cap, LIs minus 10. So a lot of indices here that indicate that potential. So you're going to be on your guard for tomorrow. Use my weather app. It'll alert you if there is a developing tornado before one official warning is issued to give you a little bit more time to prepare. Now, this was on Saturday, and then I posted this one for Sunday. Now, this one on Sunday, the jet stream pattern, we actually have a jet that comes in, which is usually not happen this late in the season. But we got a jet coming overhead, and that's going to bump these wind speeds up here aloft to 50 to 60 knots. And that's going to help it kind of transfers down to the surface. In other words, if it's stronger aloft, it's going to be stronger down lower. And so these winds all down here are much stronger as a result. Plus, they turn with height. So that gets us a good potential for tornadoes with that. Plus, Cape values up around 7,000 joules. That's basically at the top of the scale. They can go just a tad bit higher, but once you get in the 7,000s, you've got so much potential energy to work with. Storms go severe just like that. They produce damaging wind, large hail, and if the shear is just right, you're going to get some tornadoes out of it. And they could be rather strong ones. This actually has a forecasted off of... if you look at comparison climatology, it tries to produce significant tornadoes around the EF2 to EF3 category. But this is just a kind of a guidance. It does not mean that's how it's going to happen. This is, remember, a tool for us to start using, and this is becoming more popular for the last couple of years. Now, I've been using it almost every time. It rarely pans out, but it's what we have to work with. So it's going to be fine-tuned, and we're going to get better at using these things. But there's just a little guidance. And this is 3 hours later in the afternoon at 7 o'clock when storms are rolling through. And it's got severe hail sizes, potentially up to 4 inches in diameter when it compares similar type cases, still with the significant tornado threat. So Sunday, depending on how things go on Saturday, could be quite stormy around here. If I take a look at how that looks like on the radar replay, this is, all right, this is for Saturday. So it got those shower storms bubbling all up across the state, moving on through for Saturday night and Sunday morning. Kind of wraps up southeast Oklahoma in the mid to late morning hour. So if you're heading to church, by the way, here, say central Oklahoma, by the time you get out the door, the rain should be long gone, just to help you plan your day. Now, as we head into the 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, you see shower storms already building up here across central Oklahoma, kind of drilling back into southwest a little bit. And these early birds would have the chance for producing those tornadoes. And as we head into time, though, it's going to line out into a squall line as we head into the 9 to 10 o'clock hour, so Sunday evening. So there's a few hours there where cells can stay more isolated in nature, more supercellular as far as the structure goes. We can get some tornadoes out of that. Because once it typically lines out as a squall line, it transfers from tornado potential to and large hail potential to damaging wind, still some hail, and then eventually it's damaging wind. And that's how this will progress as we head into Sunday night and a Monday morning, but weakening across southeast Oklahoma and heading into Arkansas. Dallas-Fort Worth, you guys will be getting some storms down there on Monday, residual boundaries to work with from this weekend stuff. The storm line here on Sunday should reach you, but it'll be after dark, and it'll probably be falling apart. One model actually does have storms making the way into your area Saturday evening. I don't currently buy that one. I think that's going to stay mostly here across Oklahoma, but something to watch in case I'm wrong. But both the timing on both of those would be in the evening hours, both Saturday and Sunday, should they occur. Okay, so I think I took care of all that. I'll look at a couple of our CAM models. They do good in the spring. They really stink it up in the summertime pattern usually, but I'm going to take a look at it anyway. So it actually has a similar outcome. Let's see, this is 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 7 here. across central Oklahoma, and then it kind of fizzles on out, which and then redevelops again overnight to the midnight hour. So, I don't like that look. All right, I'm going to go to another one here. I haven't seen these yet, so I'm just looking at them on the fly. And they got at least the idea that anytime after 3 o'clock, stuff can pretty much bubble up anywhere. So that's a good take home from that. I don't like the placement of stuff, though. It has nothing out here in western Oklahoma, so that's out to lunch. But regardless, this is another data point which I won't focus too much onto. Kind of giving you what I thought was going to happen anyway, so this doesn't change my mind any. The ensemble run here, sometimes it does pretty good, but lately it's been stinking it up as far as precipitation goes. So this is the first time of year I've used this to kind of back verify my forecast to see how well things should go or did go. It did really well in the spring, but now they're getting later in the year. It's not performing as well as it was. But that's just a function typically of models not doing as well overall once you head into the summertime pattern. All right. I believe I can fly. So, watching. Okay. I'm going to go to my patrons here real quick. And by the way, as a reminder, you will have to, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you what it is. I've mentioned this a few times before here in the last couple of weeks. You will have to like, share, comment, forward this to your friends and family, hit the bell, all that kind of stuff to get Facebook to tell you when I go live and to show you my content in your newsfeed. If you don't do it, you will never see it. And I'm working on some ideas for that. There is a potential I have where when somebody sends me currently the way it's set up right now, if you, for whatever reason, you send me a message, my weather page, to ask me what a forecast is or just whatever, it automatically goes into a database so I can reach back out to you. So it may be a deal where I kind of get that going. It's kind of like an email or text service, which I may kind of go as well as an option. I may give you like a page to fill out. So that way, anytime you want to be notified when I go live, we don't have to depend upon Facebook to tell us or YouTube to tell us, because if they're only going to tell you if they feel like telling you based off of algorithms, what good does that do you, right? So I'm thinking about implementing these other options. That way, whenever I go live, you'll get basically a text that says AT is live, and then you can tune in and not miss a single thing. So that was the thought I was talking about today with a partner of mine. So we're going to see if we can't implement that over time. There's so many things I've been working on to make this better and add more value. So that's one thing. You got to learn how to game the system. You got to beat Facebook at its own game. So anyway, all right, let me look at your comments here in our super secret closed group Facebook page. See if you guys have any quick questions for me. By the way, thanks for coming on in here tonight. I know you guys could be doing other things on your Friday, but it's so nice you spend a little bit of time with me. All the carbs, that's right, I'm eating them all, every single one. How many drinks have you had this evening? Just carbs, Nancy. That's all. That's what happens. Driving back to Oklahoma City from Dallas, will the weather be okay, Sandra? Well, first off, I got no idea when you're leaving. And that could be next week. It could be next year. My guess is you're going to be just fine. However, because I really don't have enough information to answer your question. But if you put some more information on there, I'll let you know. All right, let's go back to the main page. And if I don't get to you tonight, just send me a message and I'll respond. Okay. Now, remember, if you guys ask me some questions, I won't be able to see them while I'm doing all my stuff. So I got to go back and look. Why is it always humid in the Gulf Shores? Kendall wants to know. Well, because that stinking ocean just filled with water and it just won't go anywhere. It will not dry up no matter how much we try. So it's always going to be humid. And it's nasty down in Houston. Oh, it's like you get out of your car, your goggles fog over, all of a sudden you can't even breathe anymore. Oh, I don't know how people live down there. By the way, as far as organized, widespread severe weather, this should be it for this weekend. And between Monday through the end of the summer, we still occasionally will have events, but they're usually not like this, where it's just nonstop, and we got tornadoes to talk about and all that. So all that's going to come to an end. If you have any outdoor plans on Saturday evening, for like kids and stuff, or camping, just let them know. Those little tykes might have to just pack it up early. They're not going to want to be in a tent when all that stuff comes rolling through. But you can let them go. I mean, at least let them get a few hours out of the house. Let them get some of that energy out of them. Run around and get dirty. Let them be kids. If they come back with a boo-boo, rub some dirt on it. Say, I'm proud of you, boy. Or I'm proud of you, girl. Whatever it may be. All right. Okay. So Sherry wants to know, don't worry so much about where the enhanced risk stops, like the line in the sand, because the weather is never that crystal clear. So just be prepared. You're going to get some hail, some wind, and you probably get some tornadoes, especially on Sunday in that area. That's the better parameters in there for that spot of the state. Yeah, Vinda, it'll be wall to wall on the TV channels. I do plan on broadcasting, so I do believe we'll see a couple of tornadoes. So I will be broadcasting at some point. Probably more so potential Sunday afternoon and evening versus, say, all day, all evening Saturday. At least I hope so. I'd rather not do it at all, which means there'd be no tornadoes. Unless it's just like some really crazy damaging wind, I'll cover that. Like 90, that's crazy. You guys know what happens when you get, there's probably 80, 85 mile per hour winds down in south central Oklahoma just a few days ago. And that was like at 2 in the morning. Unfortunately, I couldn't cover that because I was asleep, so I had to go to work the next day. Right, Lauren, you can use YouTube to get notified when I go live. And right now, YouTube is notifying, I think, most of the time. I don't know. I'll have to get feedback from everybody. John, what's the leg day forecast? Well, it was yesterday, and I could barely walk this morning. I didn't want to get out of bed. I really didn't, because my legs hurt so bad. I had to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. Too much information, of course, because, I'm 45, so that happens. You drink too much water before bed. I couldn't even, get out of the bed. So, anyway. All right. Validate my life. Brian. Okay, so is it supposed to rain Sunday morning during church? No, the rain should be over with by the time you head out to church, Jimmy. It'll be raining in southeast Oklahoma, though, for the Sunday morning. So, Sunday afternoon, Sandra, no, it won't. You just need to use my weather app so you can stay out of harm's way. Natalie, well, it's just the window is in the evening, so you're going to have to watch radar trends and kind of go in between. Nicole, answer is anywhere where there's a severe storm early on, so through the early evening hours. Once it gets mid to late evening, there won't be one, unless it's like a QLCS type tornado on a leading edge of a squall line. Okay, so it's 10 o'clock. I don't know about you guys, but I got some things I'd like to go do, and I'm sure you do as well. Maybe one night we can do them all together. We can have a big AT party. We'll rent out an establishment. I'll invite all the TV guys, and we'll put them all in dunk tanks. We'll all take turns throwing baseballs and dunking them. That sounds like a really good idea. I'm just teasing. All right, listen, I'm getting goofy because it means I need to sign off here. So thanks again for your patronage. Thanks for supporting me. I appreciate all of you guys that have come out in that and have sent me tips on PayPal. That is really wicked cool. So tomorrow, if you'd like to tip me during my severe weather coverage, you can do it through PayPal, which many of you did. I also got Venmo, and I've got Coinbase. You're like, what's that? What's Bitcoin? So I got that on there as an option too. So if you want to tip me in fake money, which is what I think Bitcoin is, fake money that somehow turns into real money, you can do that too. I'm all set up for it. And I think that's it, guys. So the other part of this was actually pretty short. Because I probably just talked about nothing more than anything than the actual weather. How about that? All right, listen, I'm going to sign off, but I'll be around tomorrow, and I'll give you an update, a blog, a video. I'm not sure. I'll figure something out in between all the other stuff I got to do. I'm like you. I still got to squeeze something in over the weekend. Otherwise, it all piles up. Probably going to do some more laundry. You know, I never folded those clothes from the last time I did laundry. For those of you folks that were watching and saw that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, I gotta do that tonight. I don't know if I feel like it, though. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. All right, listen, I'm out here. I'm signing off. You guys have a great night. Enjoy yourself. Stay out of trouble. All right? Keep the speed under the limit, and your drinks under the legal limit. All right, good night, guys. Bye.